Well, some national recognition for a Hamilton student this week as Westdale's Anika Gupta finished in second place in the Sanofi Biogenius Canada competition. She's just in grade 11, but her work could make a difference in helping people with Parkinson's. To break down what she's been doing, we welcome Anika Gupta now to the show. Hello, welcome to City Matters.
Hi, thank you. It's great to be here.
Grade 11 student from Westdale.
Yep.
This is very exciting. I know we have the picture, but you got some beautiful awards here.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your project, your invention, whatever it was that got you these plaques and these honors.
Yeah, sure. So my research primarily focuses on Parkinson's disease, and so specifically I tested the protective and restorative effects of a protein on protecting the neurons that are dying in Parkinson's disease patients. And so what I found is that this protein actually is able to protect and restore those neurons, so it could be marketed as a potential drug to help those with Parkinson's disease.
What type of research did you have to do to kind of come up with these answers, if you will?
Yeah, so in 2012, my grandfather was actually diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and so this project kind of took a more personal turn in that I wanted to be able to help people like him suffer through, after watching him suffer the symptoms like small tremors in his hands when I talk with him over FaceTime. And so I thought that this project could serve a larger purpose in that it could help him as well as others dealing with Parkinson's disease.
Now I understand, just in my notes here, it's a synthetic CDK5 inhibitor?
Yes.
And that could lead to new therapy. So is it therapies and drugs?
So the protein acts as an inhibitor. Essentially what that means is that it's blocking a process that's causing degeneration of neurons. And so it itself could be produced as some sort of a drug, yes.
Wow. How were you doing some of your testing?
So I got in contact with some professors at McMaster University, which is where I conducted my research. So I started in August, and so I was in the lab about 3 or 4 times a week for a couple of hours, 3 to 4 hours maybe, each of those days. And I was in the lab kind of conducting research, coming up with questions to try and tackle this problem.
I think that's truly unbelievable. You have a mentorship from a Dr. Ram K. Mishra at McMaster, as you just alluded to. Talk to us about the mentorship that was able to be passed along to you and some of the advice and how you were able to kind of push along even when you had some hurdles to overcome.
Yeah, so there were definitely some obstacles, as there always are with conducting research in the scientific field, in that constant communication with your mentor is actually key in communicating your results and even talking about different ways to tackle problems that you're dealing with. And so I was always contacting him, as well as some secondary mentors that I had, a graduate student also from his lab at McMaster. And so kind of working in collaboration to essentially complete the project.
I'd like to talk about the Biogenius Challenge, but first, before we get to that, what is next in line for your discovery? Does it go out into a broader test market? Does it start to get marketed and people can start purchasing it? Are you aware of what the next steps are?
Yeah, so given the biological nature of this research, I think it's important to complete like kind of a full set of testing for this potential drug. Essentially, so wanting to test in more models to gain more recognition of the actual peptide or protein itself before possibly actually testing in humans and marketing it as some sort of an official drug.
That's great. We talked about your recognition. You just mentioned it again. The challenge that took place, there were one of 9 regional competitions in Canada. What was the application process like for you?
Yeah, so the application process was quite interesting in that I competed at my regional competition first. And from there, then I found out that I could apply for this Sanofi Biogenius competition. So their application was online. I had to complete a report that kind of summarized the work that I had done as some sort of a proposal, and then I submitted that. And then April 23rd is when the Southwestern Ontario Regional Competition took place at the University of Waterloo.
What were you feeling going into that competition?
Nervous as I always am, but it's always exciting to kind of share the research that you've been working so hard on. And also, I think a bigger part of these science fair projects is learning about the other projects that students are presenting that they're equally just as passionate about.
Yeah. With your name attached to this, this is your find. This is you. No one can steal it. No one can divert from it. It's all yours, right?
Yeah.
And you've had people help you kind of make sure that it's licensed or whatever the wording is in your world?
Yeah. So it's all kind of contained within the laboratories that I'm working in collaboration with to try and produce, put out papers and stuff, actual scientific studies to back the research that I've conducted.
We got the plaques here, the second place, the first place. The excellence in 2019, there's a bit of a cash prize, I understand, as well.
Oh, yes.
That will help, I guess, go towards future schooling and such.
Hopefully, yes, yeah.
What does the future look like for you? You're only in grade 11.
Yeah.
You got a long road ahead of you. What are you hoping to accomplish? Obviously, get through grade 12. Are universities knocking on your door already?
I wouldn't say knocking.
Okay.
I mean,
showing a little bit of interest, maybe?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of really just excited to get through grade 12, and also I'll have to prepare for the whole application process, but I'm looking at possibly going to maybe the States for university, but I'll be applying kind of everywhere to just really focus on, I'm really interested in the biological sciences, so anywhere where I could explore that full potential would kind of be something I'd be interested to looking for.
Are you eligible to be part of any more competitions going into grade 12?
Oh yeah, I could compete at this Sanofi Biogenius Competition next year as well.
And would you have to go in with a different project, or could you do the same one?
Oh, I could do the same one. I could use this as a stepping point for more research. Obviously, if I'm able to continue testing different types of testing methods, I'd definitely be able to present next year.
And so that looks like it might be a future for you. And hey, I think you already know, but I think McMaster University would love to have you.
I'm sure they would.
This has been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
And congratulations and continued success.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's been a pleasure having you in here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Folks, after the break, it's almost tip-off time for the Hamilton's new professional basketball team.